Hi, welcome to a bonus episode of Whisky Riffs. My name's Kevin, and I wanted to do this quick video to honor the Bard of Scotland, Robert Burns, or Robbie. I'm not going to do a Scottish accent. I do horrible accents. The only time I ever do British or Scottish accents is when I'm trying to piss off my friends in the UK, which works really well. Robert Burns is considered the people's poet. He was born on a farm. He's certainly not one of the rich or elite. He wrote poetry and songs in the people's language. He was everyman, and that's why he was so beloved. He has a huge influence on Scottish history, and unfortunately, he died in 1796 at a young age of 37. Every year on January 25th, people all around the world gather together in groups and celebrate Burns Night. Now, Burns Night is a huge celebration. It's a lot of steps that people go through. The traditional Burns Night has poetry and whiskey and haggis and whiskey and more food and whiskey, and if you have bagpipers, you play bagpipes and you celebrate everything about Robert Burns' life, and it's a huge thing. My dad surprised Judy and I at our wedding reception with bagpipers. The band had just stopped their first set, you know, that quiet moment when everyone at the reception gets to talk to each other, and you suddenly hear this loud noise coming in from the front doors, and there's two bagpipers. Louder than the band. The band had amps, the band had loud instruments. These two guys were louder. Of course, my dad was so pleased with himself. He was just sitting over there, grinning, just happy as could be, because he had his bagpipers. So I appreciate a good set of bagpipers. I don't have any here. I can't play bagpipes. You're very lucky. But what I do have, and what I can do, is I can toast to Robert Burns on Burns Night with a lovely Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. What I have here is Glenfarclas. This is a 25-year-old Scotch, and it is affordable. It is $150 in my area, and I can usually get it anytime I want. Its younger sibling, the 12-year, is $50. So that's even more affordable. They're very similar in taste, so if you can't find this, or you don't want to spend $150, you only want to spend $50, the Glenfarclas 12 is a great option. Go ahead and pour this out. Not pour it out, pour it into the glass. How about if I pour this into a glass? Now I think we are, oh yeah, we're at the bottom. That's it. That's my, it's a dead soldier. That's okay. It did well. You did a good job. And that's a healthy pour. Now, if I was doing a review, that would be a little bit too much whiskey, but I'm going to enjoy Burns Night, and this will be good. I'll happily finish off my my 25-year-old Glenfarclas with this lovely glass. Glenfarclas has all the things you expect from a Highland single malt. It has the honey. It has kind of a nutty aroma to it, maybe a hint of coffee. It's got a nice depth of flavor. 25 years in a cask has done a good job on this whiskey. I'm always happy to have this around. In fact, I can get this, like I said, most of the time, and I just check before I started recording this, and it is available, and I will be getting a replacement bottle because it's really hard to find a 25-year-old Scotch for $150. You can pay 3 times as much for some brands that are 25 years, and there's nothing wrong with Glenfarclas. It is a really good Scotch. We've been to Scotland. In fact, in June of 2018, we took a flight to Edinburgh, and my wife booked a 4-day Islay whiskey tour for me. Now, I asked her, I said, are you sure that you want to spend 4 days going to distilleries and drinking whiskey? She said, it'll be fun, it'll make you happy, and yes, I don't deserve this woman. We booked the bus in Edinburgh, and on the drive all the way across Scotland, because I was on the other side, the tour guide was amazing. He gave us so much information. We would hear about the people that were involved in this particular part of the history of Scotland. And more often than not, Robert Burns' name would come up. I knew a little bit about him, but I didn't realize what a massive influence he had on the Scottish people and how revered he was as the people's poet. So this whole trip was just very educational. It was a great trip. And to top it off, we stopped in Islay and stayed there for 3 nights. So it was a 4-day tour. The first day we went to a distillery, and it was Oban. And then we went to, we stayed at Bamore, so we went to Bamore next. That's where the cottages were. And then we did Killoman and Ardbeg and Lafroig and Lagavulin and Bruichladdich. So 7 distilleries. I would highly recommend it. If you are traveling to Scotland and you want to have a great whiskey tour, I will put down in the description more details about what tour group we used and more details about the trip. We both said, you know, if we have a chance, we would definitely go on this tour again. It was that good. And we were with a great bunch of people. And those distilleries in Islay, they treat you right. They give you plenty of whiskey. They talk a lot about their process. Some of them you get in there and you get to work with the barley or tell the difference between the different peated mixes of barley, see the whole process top to bottom. I love it. I think it's a great tour. A Highland tour would be a great idea too, and we've talked about doing that next. That is definitely on the list. Well, I have no guitar this time because this was just a quick video, and I just wanted to have a drink with you on Burns Night. I wanted to enjoy the celebration of a great poet. I wanted to just say sláinte to my Scottish friends and thank them for their hospitality and know that we will be back. I hope you get to enjoy Burns Night. I will put some links in the description too about the celebration and some of the activities. If you have questions about the tour, if you have questions about my channel, if you have questions about the whiskeys, please don't hesitate to put a comment in on this video. I read all the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions. You know, if you have suggestions, if you have whiskeys you want me to review, if there are things that you didn't like, I want to hear that too. I'm going to wrap it up, and this is, I'm going to sit back and enjoy my whiskey without the camera on me. You know, have to see me drink the whole thing. I'm not going to do a 45-minute sit and sip. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for subscribing and liking. Please bang that bell so that you get notified every time a new video comes out. I am trying to do them weekly. This is a bonus one that's squeezed in. The next one will be on Wednesday, Whisky Riffs Wednesday. I had to practice that because I keep screwing it up. Whisky Riffs Wednesday is not easy, especially after tasting some whiskey. Gets a little trickier. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Cheers.